Missile Age, and into the age of space. Our space age heritage of knowledge is older than a decade, older than a century, older than a millennium. Our scientific knowledge has evolved through the ages concurrently with the minds of men. Our capacity to learn has expanded in the process. The challenging idea of exploring beyond our planetary boundaries is as old as history, probably as old as humanity itself. Concepts of the universe have changed, just as our knowledge of the Earth itself has changed. Compress the entire history of the Earth into 1 year. On this time scale, 8 months of the year would be devoid of life. During the succeeding 2 months, simple bacteria would come into existence. Mammals would not appear until the second week in December. Man would walk into the scene at 11:45 p.m. on December 31st. Recorded history would account for but the final ticks of the clock. Man's aerospace achievements, little more than the flicker of an eyelash. Hic deficit orbis. Here ends the world. So said an ancient map inscribed at the Pillars of Hercules. The two-dimensional world of early history was narrow, because man's knowledge of his environment was narrow. Ptolemy, for 1,000 years considered to be the greatest authority on astronomy, placed the Earth at the center of the universe. Copernicus, in 1543, advanced the idea that the sun was at the center of the planetary orbits, identified the Earth as one of these planets. Kepler, in the 17th century, described his 3 great laws of planetary motion, setting a pattern for the study of the solar system. Galileo, 17th century inventor of the telescope, who opened a new window to the skies with a device that could look at both sides of the present, using the antique light from distant stars to chart future voyages into space. Newton, who said of his 3rd law of motion, "This is the principle that will enable mankind in later centuries to undertake flights to the stars." Montgolfier, 2 brothers, sons of a papermaker from the little French town of Annonay, in 1717 achieved by balloon what the Wright brothers did in 1903 in a strange new device called and Godwin, who in 1926 launched a liquid-fueled rocket. In 1935, sent a rocket 7,500 feet into the sky. Space is a place of knowledge. Space is the new
It would be thought a hard government that should tax its people 1/10 part of their time to be employed in its service. But idleness taxes many of us much more.
Necessary step, then, is to depute power from the many to the few of the most wise and good.
Life would be
But by
respected
what
in both
rules shall you
state
choose your
and land.
representatives?
And over the entrance
Agree
to this
upon the number
paradise
and
will be
qualifications of persons who
Congress
shall have the benefit of choosing,
creatures of God,
or annex
not
this
to be
privilege to
written
the inhabitants of a certain extent.
That is what you told me.
have no care to incur your sanctions, but I speak for those
my dear
who
Mother,
desire
how
to
far
fulfill
is it
things
I
as larger than their means.
The point I wish
I find
finally to
that
bring
one
before
great
you
purpose of all
is the individuality of each
given to noble desire.
Our Protestant idea
Cannot be
the right of individual conscience and
is
judgment.
not
Our
something
Republican
which
idea,
we take
individual citizenship.
is
solar system, and perhaps of ourselves. Space is a place of discovery. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time.